Well, I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Gilbert Burns, one of the best fighters on the planet. And I want to roll back the years and have a look at how you became the fighter that you are today. And looking through your story, it's incredible. I found this little tale about how your dad offered a customer free car service in exchange for 3 months of jiu-jitsu lessons. Can you tell me a little bit about this story?
Yeah, that was it. So I was 12 years old. At tough times, like financially, we were not doing good. We were always okay, not good, okay. Like that was always the reality. But at that one time, my dad was fixing the inside of the cars, like changing the seats. Like the seats got anything bad, we were changing. And we were helping him out, because we were going to school just in the afternoon. So the whole morning, we were helping my dad. And it happens that one of these cars that came to get fixed was from a jiu-jitsu coach. And then we kind of saw the gi there as we were helping my dad. And my daddy saw that. And we had so much energy. We were helping him, but then we get problems in school. We get problems on the street. So my daddy saw an opportunity. And then whenever it was the time for him to get paid for the service, he asked for an exchange for us to start training jiu-jitsu. And and the coach agreed, and then we got 3 months of free lessons. And after those 3 months, we had to pay, but then my dad had no money, and then he said, if you guys really like that jiu-jitsu session, you guys gotta go train super hard, because if you guys are not good enough, you guys are gonna stop, because after 3 months, I'm gonna ask, hey, I have no money, can my kids keep training? And he said, if you guys really want, make sure you guys go super hard, and then we never stop, So after 3 months, they gave us a scholarship, so we kept training, and then that's where we started.
I mean, you did keep training. You did amazing things within the world of jiu-jitsu. Can you tell me a little bit about your role? Because I know at the age of 18, you were in competitions every single weekend, weren't you?
Yes. So I was 12 back then, and then I started training. After 1 month that we started, 0 to 1 month, I did my first competition. I lost, but then I like jiu-jitsu, but I for sure like way more the competition. So I like the jiu-jitsu, but the compete I like it way more. Even though I lost, 1 month after that I competed again. I beat that guy that beat previous me on the tournament before, and then I kept every month we competing. We have two cities very close to each other that was every other month was competition on each city. So and then I started competing and I was liking, but then when I got 15 to 16, then I was really commit. Then I was like super serious, and then I started doing strength conditioning. I was running, I was competing even more. I got a couple sponsors, then I got state championships, and then I was going to the news, being on the news on the newspaper, and I was kind of liking that. And then I never stopped. And I remember when I was 18, 2004, if I'm not wrong, when I was turning 18, I got a big sponsor, and then he was paying for every single tournament they had in Brazil. He don't care if it was 3 hours flying, if it was 1 hour flying, if it was in different cities. So that year I became a state champion on like 7 different states in Brazil. I was living in Rio, but I went to compete in Sao Paulo. I went to compete in Belo Horizonte. I went to compete in a lot of different places, South Brazil, North Brazil, and that was when I really started competing a lot. And then I was doing very good, and then I really want to start doing MMA, but I still have my goal to become a black belt world champion. So then I was on that route to be. Then eventually, 2007, I got my black belt. I was second place in the brown belt twice, and then I want to become a jiu-jitsu world champion. So I just make that happen 2010 as no gi, in 2011 with the gi. But after 2011, when I was Brazilian national champion, 3 times world champion, 2 in no gi, 1 with the gi, then I decided to move to MMA.
You did. It's been incredible to see you go on this amazing road right from the start, from this almost coincidental thing that happened with your dad and the work he was willing to do to help you reach your goals. You become a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion. You end up in the UFC. You've had so many amazing fights. I mean, I know you just dropped a decision to Bilal Muhammad, but before that, defeating Jorge Masvidal, one of the biggest stars this sport has ever produced. What was that experience like for you?
No, it was great. Like this year, it started tremendous for me. I got a big win in Brazil against New Magny. A finish, it didn't got touch. And then I went here in Miami, the second place that I live. I born and raised in Rio, but now I'm living in Boca Raton. It's kind of like an hour away from Miami. And then when they had the UFC in Miami, they offered me Jorge Masvidal. I was so happy. I got a big win. That changes here, like everyone knows me here already. They kind of, a couple guys knew, but just the fighters. But after the way I beat Jorge Masvidal, it changed the way people see me here in Miami. And then I got a short notice against Bilal Muhammad, and then I thought I was gonna get a title shot, but unfortunately, I got a big injury on my arms, like 3 different ligaments, super big, torn, almost. To be honest, my ligament was hanging. Was like I was hard 4 months. I couldn't do anything. Even if I tried to do a jog, we maybe hurt my ligament. So I had to really literally do nothing, and they slowly got back to the PT, and they start training, get the shoulder very strong, get a couple stem cells injections in the shoulder. Now I'm 100% healed. Now I'm back in training, sparring. Still need to get in a better shape because, like I said, I was 4 months without doing anything, and then 2 more months only PT. Now I'm back in training. Now the whole body hurts. Now I'm getting slowly back in the shape. So ideal for me will be UFC 299, March 90, or UFC 300 to come back. Still have no opponent. Still see what's going on after UFC 296. But yeah, so happy just to be back in training, do what I like to do, like every day in the gym, training, getting better. I'm already feeling a lot better.
Well, it's great to see you coming back in action. I hope that you get a place on one of these big cards. When you're not competing, I've just seen you flying over to Liverpool to mix with the Everton players. That was fantastic. Can you tell me a little bit about what they were like, if any of them showed any talent? And I've seen the face-off between you and I think James Tarkowski, and it was quite a funny one.
No, a couple one were funny. These guys, they're very talented. Every single one can punch. They can. We had a great time. We had a great time. So, and then that steak brought me over there, and then I had no idea what to expect. So we watched a game. It was a good game. And we lost, but it was a good game. They fought hard. I like the atmosphere. I like everyone was cheering super hard. I like those fans are fanatics. They are crazy. Like Everton fans are crazy. I like it. I love every single minute. It was good that I trained with Patty Pinblack when I was there. I trained with Molly. It was a good time. But then we got back on the next day to do a little session. Then I show a little bit skills on my football. I'm not bad. I grew up playing football, playing soccer in Brazil. So I score a couple goals, we play a little bit, and then at the end, I show him a couple moves, and they can throw. They got power. They're so athletic that if you just put a little bit of technique, for sure they can kick, they can punch. So we have fun. It was a great time.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to showcase your footballing skills, and I'm sure they were impressed. A question I want to ask you, Gilbert. At the top of your bio, it says Christ follower. So I just wanted to know if you could tell me a little bit about your relationship with Jesus and how religion has helped you throughout your career and your life in general.
He helps me a lot. I grew up in a Catholic family. And then whenever my jiu-jitsu journey, whenever in 2007, when I moved out of Rio to São Paulo to start training more jiu-jitsu with the high-level guys, that one of my coaches over there, Ramon Lemos, he was the one that introduced me. And I kind of knew a little bit about God, about Jesus, but not the way he showed me, not the way they start praying, they start to accept and then get baptized. And then that was 2009, I said, when I really become a Christian and I accept and start praying. Then everything, it kind of changed me so much after that. I was praying more. I wouldn't say it got easier. It didn't got easier, but my perspective was different, So sometimes the circumstance I was just accepting easier, or sometimes you fight against the circumstance. And whenever I accept, I was just like, okay, it's part of the process, It was just easier to deal with it. And then I wasn't even religious. I still not religious, but the way I see, I have a good relationship with God. You know, I pray, I serve, I try to go His way for sure. We sin, we make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I make a lot of mistakes, but I ask for forgive and I try to do the best way. And then same thing with my family. I try to teach my kids not just preaching, but showing. You know, being a good example. So and yeah, for sure, I'm a Christian. First thing that I follow Jesus, and I try to express that, not just preaching but showing. And that's it. Just a Christian family guy, normal guy, grow up in Brazil, here trying to become a UFC champion and show a good example.
Fantastic, Gilbert. Thank you so much for giving me some time today. It's greatly appreciated that you're able to talk to me all about your religion, all about your UFC career, all about your dad. It's been fantastic. But to conclude, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Just thank you guys. You know, that was a good one. Tony, March or April, I'm back and I'm gonna get gold.